Welcome to another episode of the BLERDVERSE Podcast. I am your blurred and proud host, Phil, and I am joined by my friends, my co-hosts, the infamous Lori, and your man Big O. Yes, we three make up the chemistry of the BLERDVERSE, a space and time where nerds of color may discuss our passions for all things comic book, sci-fi, fantasy, and animation. We believe in getting deep into the issues that are present as it pertains to our presence, depiction, and elevation of comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and so much more. Yes, you are all welcome to the BLERDVERSE. Please join us. Welcome to the 18th episode of the BLERDVERSE Podcast.
I can't believe 18 episodes.
I know on this beautiful Sunday afternoon on October 23rd, I am joined by my co-hosts, Big O and Lori.
How y'all doing?
How you guys doing today?
Good.
Chilling.
I'm in my feelings. But
What y'all beginning into?
I'm pumping myself up for The Walking Dead right now. That starts tonight. So
Aren't we all?
yeah, like I said, I'm in my feelings. I'm prepped. I've come to grips with the losses that I have heard about, and
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, the marketing has been great for it and everything, and there's been a lot of talk about what could be happening, you know, and from what I understand, well, you know, we can get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll take it.
About what we understand about the show.
yeah,
But
it's been good.
it's been hella good.
I mean, you know, anytime I can get, you know, continuous episodes of The Walking Dead every day
I know
for like
the
a
marathon.
week.
The marathon's been awesome, and we have the marathon on in the background right now.
And we're trying our best not to be like,
Because there's a certain scene I want to catch while we watch it.
Right, exactly. So if you hear squealing, that's just what I'm like, oh. Wait,
But we were experiencing we're a few weeks into this awesome fall season of television, and you know what's ironic is that you know there's been a comment or two about shows that you know we're not covering. And just to be real with everybody, to be honest with you, we're dealing with an age where the amount of content to absorb is pretty high now. Mm-hmm. The mediums have increased, and it's basically just hard to keep up with everything. Yeah. We may even have to alter our format in a sense to take it all in and give it to you guys all at once. Yeah. Because from week to week is tough enough as it is. From stuff on Sci-Fi Network now, stuff coming out on Hulu, stuff on Netflix, HBO. I mean, it gets a lot of control. I mean, and there's more coming or more mediums, and you know, it's hard to really get it all in. But we're gonna try our best.
Yeah, and I think we kind of pick the shows we know that you guys are most interested in. And right now, the CW's kind of got a lock on some of the best shows, sci-fi. Superhero shows on TV this point. I mean, you can't really even a show that they're not considering to be like great, which is still really good, which is Legends. It was still really, really good, and it's vastly improved since season 1.
Definitely.
But you know, things like I started watching Westworld.
I
watched that a little bit, but then you know sometimes I have loyalty to other shows, so these shows fall off. Like Westworld is getting ready to get no love from me because The Walking Dead is starting, and they're short.
It really gets down to a viewership shootout between what you're able to watch, what you even have time to watch, even with a DVR. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, there's stuff that you know I have to watch again, of course, to stay abreast of what we're going to talk about today. Right. But there's still a lot of stuff that I haven't even gotten around to watching for future episodes to even talk about.
Exactly.
I mean, it gets pretty out of control.
Just the stuff of catching up or things that I watch that are not nerd based, and it's just like, and then trying to fit that in, it's like, okay,
there's really just so much that's going on TV right now that if we really wanted to try and get all of it, man, these episodes would be 24 hours long, to be honest with you.
I mean, it'll be really long for you guys. I mean, we may have to restructure this thing, like I mentioned earlier, to really take it all in. It may not be, even with this week-to-week thing, with the superhero thing, you know, I'm a little concerned. How much we can take in at a time, you know, because I have to admit I was a little bit behind with the last episode posting it, but I'm going to be quick today. It's going to come out today. But let's dive right into what we are covering, and that is, you know, we're going to dive right into the all of the genres across all the genre TV across the different networks, and let you know, the queen of the BLERDVERSE ripping it up on our page today with t-shirt modeling.
I was just showing my love for The Walking Dead. I did not.
And the bros are showing love back.
I was not trying to cause a ruckus. Jesus Christ.
The brothers are applauding.
I know, right?
Well, I will say thank y'all very much. You made me feel good about myself. Thank you very much.
Brothers like long hair don't care.
She was strategic about the way the picture was posted, though.
All the geeks like, oh my god, oh my god,
Oh my god,
oh my gosh.
It was not that
man!
bad.
I'm feeling something.
You know what's funny?
I hate to make fun of y'all.
I told you my boy. He never really talks to me during the weekend. Once we away from work, he's like, "Nah, we away from work." That dude hit me up. He's like, yo, did your friend just post a picture? I said, excuse me, who are you talking about?
Look,
he said, your friend from this show. And he's a swarthy Latin guy, too. So he got the accent the whole time.
I'm going to let y'all dudes know right now. You know what I'm saying? That's my sister right there. So, you know what I'm saying? Anything trying to pop off, got to pop off through me first. You know what I mean? There will be a filtration process for this nonsense. You know what I mean?
I was just trying to show my love for season 7.
Yeah. You were trying to show something. Go ahead. Go ahead, girl.
The love was shown. You know what I'm saying? Rubber slipped out. Let's continue.
Okay.
All right, let's
get on with our TV review.
All right, Ms. Lori, what's going on?
All right, y'all. It's Chocolate Baroness. How y'all doing? Okay, so we're going to start with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 4, Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire. So, what do we think about this episode?
I thought it was a pretty good episode.
I mean, all in all...
Wait, hold on. Woo.
I know.
I mean...
Big O said this was a good episode.
I mean, it was cool. I mean, I'll have to say, like, I'm actually... I think my favorite part of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now is Ghost Rider. I mean, dude is pretty cool. I mean, you know, I'm hoping that they're thinking about something with him in the future. I mean... you know, we all know that the mantle of the Ghost Rider is something that can be passed along, but sometimes these guys ride with the mantle for a good minute. Mm-hmm. Right. And looks like this guy is not trying to shirk the responsibility. And the episode overall was, you know, I guess good in that regard. But you know, could you elaborate on what you got from it, Lori?
Like I said, I'm thoroughly enjoying Ghost Rider. I think he's great. I think that when he's allowed to be Ghost Rider and just, you know, not have to carry Daisy. I'm going to put it out there. I mean, y'all know, it's well known how I feel about her, the actress, and the character at this point. But when he's allowed to be Ghost Rider, like, you know, when he was fighting the old dude in the hallway with the chain, I was like, give me that.
That was
give
badass.
me more of that.
That
I don't need you negotiating for Daisy. And I think that, and at first I thought, as I was watching it, I was trying to figure out if it was just her acting in general with other people, or is it just her overall? And I realized it's Daisy overall, because even her and Gemma, I was more focused on Gemma showing out than her trying to help Daisy, because it's just like you've caused nothing but trouble this entire time.
I know it's going to sound like we bashing her, and I mean, she's probably a decent person in her own right and all those other things, but I am daisied out too. Yeah. So, I mean, watching her try and take the helm again this season, really, it doesn't do anything for me.
I mean, did we get a sense from what S.H.I.E.L.D., the organization, what their next steps were?
Well, the return of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one thing.
Yeah.
They keep talking about it, but what steps are being taken?
Well, at this point, it's bringing all of them back in, and definitely bringing Ghost Rider in and saying, you know, okay, you can still get your revenge, but we got better ways for you to do that. If you want souls of bad folks, we can have that for you. Yeah, right. But you need to at least have open lines of communication. And I think that's what they're trying to do, not trying to wrangle him, because they know that's not a good idea. Yeah. Coulson ain't scared. I can say that. Coulson ain't scared.
He ain't scared, he ain't stupid either.
But I think that trying to wrangle Robbie to say, okay, you know stuff that we don't know, but we have resources that you don't have. Right. Like the book that they're looking for. Yeah. That's a resource. That's something that he needs, but they can also have better tracking and finding. Him riding around in the car is not going to help him. Yeah. So I think it's beneficial for both of them. Bringing her back, the only thing is I want, and I know it's not going to happen, is from some form of punishment. And I'm not talking like locking her up, but the team being like, you know,
we're going to keep you at arm's distance until we
great, you're back, but you messed up. And
right.
I want somebody to call her on her shit. And if they don't, and if May doesn't do it, or Mac doesn't do it, then I'm kind of done. Because at this point, she continues to get a pass every time that there's an issue or a misbehavior. She does something that gets people injured. They bring her back, oh, it's okay, we understand. She has made a very clear stake on what she is going to not do.
I'm hoping that Coulson's the one that does it, to be honest.
I would be great, but I have a feeling they're not going to make Coulson do it because Coulson is still very sympathetic to her because he still thinks that he's responsible for this. Because if he hadn't brought her in, then this, that, and the other thing wouldn't happen to her, which is not true.
You know, but that's the whole thing. Is like you don't think that way with Mac or with Agent May. You technically brought them in too. Like you asked them to be part of your team. Don't give me that bug.
Right, because you would do the same thing if May showed out, you would call her out, and he's done it. If Mac showed out, he would call him on it. He's done it with everybody except for her. And I'm just tired of the solo Shield thing and the need for to drum up sympathy for her.
Yeah, right.
Because it's like I would have sympathy for you if I had some semblance of connection for you. Like when last episode when May flatlined, I was like, yo,
yeah.
I knew she wasn't going to die, but I was like, how long are you going to keep her? Is she going to be jacked up? Is she going to be this? But I have a feeling and affinity for May. When Mac cut off Coulson's hand at the end of last season, I was like, I could see how painful that was for Mac. Because Mac's still dealing with that.
Right.
I don't feel anything for Daisy. And I think that, although the very funny part was, I'm jumping around with Gemma and Fitz, but she was like, she's great. It's amazing how receptive she is. And he was like, what do you mean? She's like, she's AI. He's like, how'd you know? She's like, come on, dude. I'm your boo-boo squeeze. Did you not think I figured that out?
Stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to also get a feel for where S.H.I.E.L.D. really plans to go. And when they're going to start going big again with their stories. I mean, everything has been about rebuilding. But what's the objective at the end of the day? I mean, what do they plan to take part in? Is it about the Sokovian Accords? Is it about Thanos?
Is it about our leader being an Inhuman?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because is that going to play? Because that's my question. I'm going to ask you guys. Do you think that's going to be?
Right? Except for Coulson.
Coulson knows.
Yeah, Coulson's the only person that knows.
But do you think that that's going to be part of the reveal of coming back to S.H.I.E.L.D., saying, "Hey, by the way, we have an Inhuman fighting Inhumans"?
I think what it's ultimately going to turn out to be is that they're going to build the story arc. At least I'm hoping, right? That they're going to say, okay, it's about the Wachovia Accords right now. Everybody's going to register. We got this gripe going on. Who's registered, who's not, and all that other stuff. Especially like with Yo-Yo's thick Latina self coming back.
Her and Mac need to stop playing because she basically throwing it at him, and he like no. Because I'm like, boo, do you understand?
I got work to do, baby. That's his whole thing. Say, look, man, I'm focused right now. I'm trying to rebuild my career right now.
Yeah. She's beautiful,
and what's funny?
She's fiery, and she's like, I ain't got time for your nonsense.
Usually, I'm not one for like her voice is very. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm not,
but it's a very.
I like her accent.
Sound a little too passionate.
But you know what? You know why I like her accent? Because it doesn't seem like it was forced upon me to make her sound sexier. It's natural. It's just this is who I am. It's like, girl, go ahead.
The supporting cast for S.H.I.E.L.D. has been rather excellent for the past few seasons overall.
It has been.
And I just want the story to do them service. S.H.I.E.L.D. is supposed to be an integral part of all things going on in this Marvel universe on the superhero side. And it's like they're climbing their way back to that status.
But what's going to be an interesting part is how they're going to bring these other Inhumans that they introduced in the previous season back into this season. So like the guy, he's a gay guy, but he can manipulate steel and metal and all these other things. He was in Greece and he left. You know what I'm talking about?
The Latino guy.
Exactly,
and he was really
he was pretty good too.
He was good, but I don't because he dipped when Lincoln decided he was gonna go. Yeah. He dipped. Yeah. So we basically all agree that we want the S.H.I.E.L.D. back together. We want the team back together, and we personally as fans think there should be some punishment for her.
Some punishment and just a unified mission going forward that puts them back into the real mix of the Marvel universe.
I'd like to see some more solo scenes of Ghost Rider too, though.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely want the story in him and his brother. I want some of that because that's got to come out too.
They may as well just give it to the brother and at least try a pilot.
Why not?
Hold on, before we move to the next show. Wasn't there a rumor that Ghost Rider was supposed to get its own individual show on Netflix?
They were talking about that a couple of years ago. Nothing was confirmed because they are actually been trying. I think the main thing they're trying to quietly pull off is Moon Knight.
And they're also looking at Blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, oh, those properties. We could actually do something with that on Netflix.
Yeah, right.
So I'm all about that. So okay,
let's go.
All right. we going on to DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Okay. And it's season 2, episode 2. Okay, it's called the Justice Society of America. Yes. So, what did we think about this episode?
Another sign of the marked improvement in this series. The introduction of the JSA definitely alluded to a foundational element of the idea of superheroes working together as a unit, which, would lend itself to the idea of such an idea carrying itself through the ages. They didn't allude to any other groups, which I'm sure they probably can't just yet. But nevertheless, it was interesting to see the characters they chose for this and the way they slipped Vixen in there, even the younger version of herself, alluding to the fact that that Vixen is an inherited mantle, from which is to the character that we know. And it was introduced on Arrow, was obviously a descendant of the one that we introduced here.
Grandmother, right?
Yeah, sure. Apparently her grandmother. So overall, it was really good. They've managed a way to keep this kind of pretty interesting, involving the JSA, the atomic bomb, and Damien Dark, and the Reverse Flash. I mean, we're getting hints of something really big going on here.
The Reverse Flash, that mofo is crazy. One of my. I hate him, but I love. He's a
tipping point.
Yeah,
tipping point, motherfucker.
And I didn't see it coming. I was like, no, shit.
Yeah, right.
And you're sitting there going, okay.
And that vial, I thought that was V9. I was like, what? Are you crazy?
Right.
Are you out of your mind, brother?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, here, take this. Here, just take a little sip. You'll be all right. It's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad episode.
You know what? Also, as a Blerd, excuse me, Walking Dead. As a Blerd, I'm also very happy to see that we have incorporated brown and black and brown folks into the 30s and the 40s.
Yeah,
we not running around talking about it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's
clearly
like you have
the
Obsidian and
hold on though. Because there was a brother.
They have two black heroes.
There's 2 black heroes.
Obvious black heroes, right? The brother with the goggles.
Yes.
And we have Vixen.
Yeah.
What the hell was the brother's power? Because all of a sudden he looked like he slowed time, but time wasn't really slowed. And then
it's kind of. I think it's kind of like the dude who was on the Flash, where he can manipulate it to a certain degree. But I don't care. He was cool.
Well, they called him Obsidian, but I knew. But
how Obsidian?
No,
really?
no. Well, they called him Obsidian, but I was familiar with that particular power set to a character called Hourman, who had the ability to literally slow or speed up time for an hour. And during that hour, he would have super strength and other abilities. I think.
Isn't Hourman on there? Obsidian, Hourman, and Vixen. It's 3 of them because one has full face mask.
Shadow or whatever.
I'm sorry. Like
we're blanking on the Justice Society names
because I watched it. I watched it twice, and I'll admit that watching it twice they definitely gave everyone some screen time, and people weren't just in the background, which was really cool. That they actually gave some weight to the unit, to the whole group, the JSA. But to be honest with you, I was not able to consistently identify every single member throughout the
I wasn't invested just yet. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate.
I was curious.
I appreciate.
I was curious
Brown,
because my curiosity mainly leads to who did these foundational characters inspire in our current era? Who are they related to? Mm-hmm. Things like that. That's the main thing.
And we did find out one. We found out one, which was actually very, very cool. Yeah, I thought that, as people were talking trash about Nate last one, like, well, what the hell was this historian do?
Who is this guy?
I'm like, he's got he's going to meet, and they made a huge deal about them going back to the 40s. And I'm like, he's going to meet somebody. He's got to meet somebody that makes a difference to his heritage. And I'm like, there's a reason this dude was picked. And boom, I was like, oh, yo. Yeah,
I thought it was actually pretty dope. I liked it.
And I was like, but I also felt bad for him because I'm like, we know what your abilities lead to. Him getting those abilities, Citizen Steel, eventually doesn't Citizen Steel build up the immunity to the point where he has no sense of touch? Like he has no, because of all of that. He basically loses his sense.
Well, you know
he can't emotional, like a physical
that's funny.
being.
That's funny because
you get the power, but then you lose your ability to be close to folks. You can't touch, and I think it's the ability to feel. I think it's feel.
That's funny because that alludes to my main problems with this week's past week's Supergirl. But I mean, this Legends was good. They're clearly. I think they're setting the stage for introducing the ensemble of antagonists they're going to be dealing with. It's been kind of, I guess I didn't expect them to throw them all at you at once.
No.
But the way they're introducing them, and clearly the Legends have no idea what's going on.
Right.
They don't have a clue that there's a group out there that's building up against them.
Yeah, and
but what that other group is trying to do exactly...
It's not clear.
Yeah, it's not clear. I guess it's still early in the season. I think they have some pretty big ideas.
Of where they're going to take them.
That's the idea. That's the impression I got. That they have some pretty big ideas that they can't just throw at us at once.
Yeah, and the JSA had to happen this way for the rest of that lead up.
Just for clarity's sake, the brother that's in the show, his name was Dr. Midnight.
Okay.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
he's
okay. All right, you know what? No, his power it does have to do
with time.
No, well, not with time, but no, I think it has to do with time and with the ability to make a field of darkness in a given area,
which is kind of cool.
No, because that's Obsidian. That's the guy that throws the.
Well, see, they're throwing twists at me and whatnot. I have to get clear on what they're doing with this.
And I'm going to say straight up, I don't know a whole bunch about the JSA. So as a Blerd, I'm going to tell you right now. As a Blerd, I don't know a whole bunch about the JSA. Yeah. I think that they were cool because I believe that they linked to their ancestors. Yeah. They're linked to somebody because I'm.
They all are.
I just hope that their ancestors not disappointing because what's that star chick?
Yeah, she has her father.
And I'm like, please don't let you be like related to Sarah. Because Sarah's a badass. Please don't do that.
At least not in the comments.
But I'm saying please don't let you be her lynch. Sarah's a badass. Her ancestors need to be a badass too.
I'm sorry. As a Blerd and as part of this Blerdverse, I always make it known that we all have our individual and unique tastes as Blerds. And one of the things that I don't like, the kind of hero I don't like, is one whose ability is pivotal on an item that they hold in their hand. I have a real problem. I mean, with criminals, they can kind of get away with that. They're criminals. They're trying to get around stuff. But when you're a hero, and you're saying you're a hero because you hold something in your hand, man. I mean,
you might as well say that for Vixen too.
Because it's around her neck. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different.
But if somebody snatch it off her neck, though.
But I mean,
don't do that.
I mean, you know what?
I kind of see what you're saying. I guess for me, a necklace or a totem is a little different than me having to pick up, like, say, this bottle to be able to enhance. Mm-hmm. But the totem is on my neck. You got to get to me first.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
you got to get to me.
Yeah, I mean, comparing Star Spangled Girl with Vixen.
Star Spangled Girl.
Am I getting that wrong?
Star Girl.
He
called her Star Spangled Girl.
Well, that's from the animated series. They call her that on that joint, right?
You're right.
Yes,
they changed it. They changed that on purpose for TV because they know it sounded ridiculous.
No, she in that, if you remember in that episode, we branching off, but in that episode that you're talking about of Justice League, she does change her name to Star Girl because they kept telling like Star Spangled Girl. That's a mouthful. Like, what the hell are you doing?
I mean, Stargirl's still corny.
It's still corny,
still corny, and I mean, she's just corny to me as a.
They needed another little blonde thing. So there she is.
See, this is where diversity gets a little heavy-handed. Like you have a bigger stable of female heroes, but you pick some of the corniest ones.
No, she's little and blonde, and somewhat. And you know what? She has Captain America's uniform.
Well, I guess for the 40s, it kind of fits.
She got on the Captain America.
I guess it kind of fits, but
she wanted to be patriotic.
Well, and you know what too? One thing about Vixen too is that her situation is inherited. It wasn't like she stumbled upon it, or like she found that joint. It was like, wait, let me wear this. Mm-hmm. I don't think Stargirl like even made that thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
Phil really doesn't like Stargirl.
No, I just don't like. I don't like. There's a certain kind of hero that I have a hard time dealing with.
She seems useless. She seems useless.
It's really extra.
She does. She seems very useless.
They could have gotten. I mean, I'm all for the ladies getting on the screen kicking ass, but man, make it. Don't go too far with that.
I agree.
But unfortunately, that's what we're going to have to deal with.
I know. Eventually, we'll get a couple more episodes, and we'll find out who she's related to, and then we'll keep it moving, and maybe she'll die.
Overall,
Legends.
Let's just end it. Overall, Legends is going in a great direction. I think this is probably going to be one of the more layered series. That's going to take a while and a lot of exposition to lay down the whole Legion of Doom thing.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's motivations, everyone's screen time. Like, why are you here? Why are you here?
Right.
And a large cast.
It's a lot to deal with in the crossover.
Ooh, that's like 20 people.
Yeah, they're
and half of them are from Legend.
And as predicted, it's coming out in November. Just in time for the holidays.
Yep. So you can have it on DVR and watch that joint on rotation until it comes back. Be like, I'm going to watch this
all
one.
Thanksgiving,
Right, just
get to Christmas.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
All Christmas. And
just play.
It's going to be crazy. But
that'll be me. That'll be me. All right, let's go on. Then we're going to Supergirl Season 2, Episode 2, The Last Children of Krypton.
Yeah.
How do we feel about this episode?
This was another good episode. The camaraderie between Kara and her cousin is fun to watch. It reminds me of some people I know in my life, ironically enough. How well we get along and how well they get along is real fun to watch. The point of contention between Superman and Martian Manhunter, was interesting to me in a certain sense. It comes down to it comes down to some of the things they're kind of promoting a lot this season, and that's family and relationships and the things that make up relationships, which is trust and stuff like that. This is a very, maybe the people don't see it, but I see a very values-based show here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see a very values-based show.
Right.
Where those values are coming from, it doesn't have to come from any particular place, but as long as they come from, they always seem to come from a good place with the show. I would say that they started using more of Cadmus, and I like that. But the way they're depicting Cadmus right now is a little unclear for me. I guess, it's still early in the season, but I guess being a Blerd, my understanding of Cadmus, especially from the animated series, is that it's a huge, scientific firm. But they're making it, they're depicting Cadmus in these dingy little warehouse places and basements and stuff, and with this one woman with the bun and the pantsuit, and I'm just like, I think Cadmus is a little more than that. They're kind of presenting Cadmus like a cult almost.
Yeah,
but I know that but we all know that Cadmus has its ties to Apocalypse. The technology, things like that. Yeah. But they haven't really alluded to the scale and size of Cadmus in this. But again, it's early in the season. Maybe they'll give us a better idea of how big Cadmus really is.
I would be surprised if they even brought.
I don't think they're going to get into Apocalypse. Anyway.
Yeah, especially just given the fact.
But alien technology, I think, is going to be a part of it.
You need to have a real big bad for the movie, and then we've seen what they did to Suicide Squad for the whole DCU on the TV universe. Anyway, they're not going to bring in Apocalypse for the TV universe. I don't see. No,
I think they're going to twist that into some other alien technology.
Yeah.
Maybe Cadmus is going to be a part of the crossover.
That would be pretty smooth, though.
But overall, overall, I did enjoy it. My only problem, I guess, with this episode was Metallo, the villain. The action was great, but Metallo, the character, I felt was way off from the Metallo that I knew. And what's ironic is that every other superhero series this past week have had villains that have depicted the Metallo that I wanted to see on this series. Villains who've gone through a metamorphosis where their whole sense of self has changed, and they're like, "What did you do to me?" And it's affecting them psychologically. Now, the Metallo that I'm familiar with from the comics to the animated series, from Superman to Justice League, this is a character that when he woke up, he was horrified at what happened to him.
Yeah, right.
He literally, his mind literally snapped when he woke up. He lost his mind.
Right.
He's like, I can't feel anything. That's what you just said. I can't touch anything.
Right.
What did you do to me? I can't even kiss a woman.
Right.
But this Metallo and Supergirl woke up like, oh shit, I'm the man. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, it really seemed very simple.
I'm like,
and then for that, it may have been. Maybe a modification that they made to him.
Maybe I'm nitpicking.
No. I'm not saying you're nitpicking because I agree because he should have been a little bit more
tortured.
A little bit more like fuck.
Yeah,
right.
But he didn't seem. But then again, it might.
And they cheapened him by adding another Metallo out of the blue.
Yeah, I mean that cheapened it too. I thought
Metallo
that was
is a big role.
Although I think that I was thinking that the secondary Metallo was like the first go round and he didn't go well. You know what I'm saying? Like the first experiment, like ooh, that's not.
Yeah, that's not what we wanted.
You're expendable, but that's the real one. And for Metallo himself, he seemed very eager to be Metallo as opposed to vengeful and pissed.
Well, then if you didn't know this, if you don't know what we know,
right?
You probably won't. And
care. They may have simplified, and they may have simplified because Metallo's backstory is kind of extensive, and we didn't get into that because there's a lot more to why he's Metallo than just Cadmus saying, "Hey, we want to fuck with you."
Yeah,
it was, and when he had legit reasons for that.
And when Superman put him down, it led to even bigger stories later on because he didn't die.
Yeah, right.
And that's the other thing. You didn't rip out you didn't rip out the kryptonite. You basically just powered him down. Yeah. From what I remember in the comic, they would bury his ass and he would just power down until somebody moved the rock or turned on the light or brought him from under the sea. I think he might have been buried in one. What was that? Superman?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he got buried. He was buried under Metropolis for a minute. So it's one of those things.
But not to take away from the quality of the episode overall, because obviously things can't be the exact same way. They have to come across a certain way. But for what they did with the episode, it was cool. It was fun. It was. I mean, the thing about Supergirl is, it's taking an even brighter turn. I think with certain things as compared to Flash, for example, who are throwing a lot of heavy and darker tones to it.
We'll get to that.
But what did you think of?
Or the nod to I want to say one thing. The nod to
Crisis
in Infinite Earth.
That was a cool little scene.
That him holding her up. I was just like,
that was cool.
And I think I like the fact that he didn't look like the crying Superman on the. He was pit. You could see that this Superman was like, "Are you kidding? Are you serious? Oh, okay. It's like that. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, got you." So I do like that.
What's up, man?
The story and how things are developing are pretty good for Supergirl overall for me. The Metallo thing threw a monkey wrench in it, so I'm just going to let them slide on that for this week, and we'll see how it goes next week. I'm still not satisfied by this half-cooked Superman that they've got, but
well,
I guess I'll just have to suck it up and make sure.
Well, the good thing is this was his last episode.
Yeah, this is his last episode for now.
He'll come back in the season.
He's probably going to come back in the crossover because I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think the crossover or the season finale.
Yeah,
if he's not going to be in the crossover, he'll definitely be around for the season. Because
I don't think they would have gotten him just for 2 episodes.
And
the reception to go through all that.
And the reception to him has been through the roof.
It's been pretty good.
I know they said they're going to bring him back.
People like him a lot
for the after the holiday break.
Yeah, which episode 9-ish, episode 10, which makes sense because if they do the 4-9 crossover and I'll tell you, 8, episode 9 would make sense for him to fix.
Yeah, I mean, I'll let you know, and that will be the one more episode he has for that season. You probably won't see him again until deep into maybe not even the following season, maybe the season after, because they let you know right now, this is Supergirl show. Don't worry. Blah, blah, blah.
Right, exactly. Right. You're here to support Supergirl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's move on to The Flash, season 3, episode 3, Magenta. Yo.
This was definitely they're adding more to this whole.
I have one gripe. I want to start off with one gripe. You guys can take it from there.
Go ahead.
I think that they should have done a little bit more tailoring. At least the nerd in me, right? Wish they did a little bit more tailoring with the story and with the character. Magenta you could have easily just said Raven, and tied in some other stuff, and that would have been balls to the walls, bananas.
But that's who I was thinking when I saw her.
Boom.
Because I'm like,
so I'm not the only one.
Because all she needed to do was pull up her hoodie. I was just like, yo.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm not by myself. It could have tied a lot of things together, would have given them a lane to start building off of for further characters. I mean, if we want to be an all-encompassing DC TVU, whatever they call it, then
that's making some major alterations to individual characters' backstories. To throw Raven in there.
No, all you're doing is introducing her. You can delve in later on and then say, okay, well, yeah, we knew her as an orphan here, but she was an orphan here because of boom, 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 boom. You get what I'm saying? And that could have been the first one. You don't have to delve too deep into it because how many times do we see that in TV now? That they'll just drop a tidbit here and then people will go to the water cooler and start talking like, did you hear about this?
And then they pick up the thread a couple of
exactly.
Which is not, I mean, I think that I felt for that little girl because I'm just like, oh, you poor sweetie, because you don't know what's going on. You have no, and this man is basically coming to you at your weakest state and saying, here, I can give you the stuff that you lost. Why? Because you don't know you lost it, but here. And then I think that the thing with Dr. Alchemy is that he's giving these people their powers back, but he's not giving them what they need to be equipped to have these powers. Because if in a different timeline, you had time to learn how to do this stuff.
I mean, that would have been really interesting if they managed to, put Raven in there. For what it was worth, though, the character Magenta, Frankie King, they definitely are a good example of the real world situations that can happen, even in the Flash. And these are more signs of, I guess, the kind of world that Barry's living in now, where things like abused children can become metahumans, and what can result in that, and how he had to really handle that as a hero. And this wasn't someone that he could just run up and hit with lightning. Right. This was a little girl
who was
struggling without a home, and he couldn't treat her the same way.
And and I think Barry felt that. Barry's an orphan.
Yeah, right.
He's got Joe, but Barry's an orphan. Yeah, right. So he could see how. I think he had a flash, no pun intended, a flash of what it was like when he first got his powers, when he was in the what the hell is this? Right. And she wasn't malicious. She was scared.
I think, this kind of character, this kind of way they took them down is very closely related to what the character does in his comics. They're actually bringing Barry a little bit more down to earth, and I have a feeling this is the kind of situations we're going to be seeing going forward. I think we're going to see a lot more real world, real life situations that the Flash is going to be dealing with in different ways.
Interesting. What did you guys think about the two? What did you think about Jesse Quick and your boy? That whole dynamic between getting the powers and not getting the powers.
Okay, all right. Now what's crazy is that Kenan Lonsdale's performance in this episode gave you flashes of a much deeper and compelling character. The little walk he took with her actually gave you some sense of him as a person. Right. Gave him some depth, and then he kind of threw it to the left there, literally. I was like, damn. But for a minute there, I was getting into the brother right there. Like, oh yeah, the sympathy he was showing her, the empathy, that little conversation. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is like we're getting into the character, and then all of a sudden, okay, all this to perhaps make him into a plot device for Alchemy. Hopefully not. Hopefully the writers are not going to make it that predictable. Yeah. But Wally's, manic depression now over not getting a connection to the Speed Force is becoming. It was almost a bit much. But I think at the same time, he's probably the one person he probably shouldn't have told that, yo, man, you were the Flash, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, then again, if you told anybody, like son, if someone told me, man, yo, you were Red Man. The timeline, I'm like, word? What? When did this happen?
Shut up.
You know what I'm saying? I would do everything in my power to become that motherfucker again. Like, I was? For real? When? With who? How? So, if somebody told me, man, you were the Flash, man, you were running that Mach 3, you saved people's lives, and then you look at your life, you're like, I was doing that.
But did Barry tell him?
He didn't tell him.
He told Joe.
Yeah, he told Joe.
And Joe must have told him.
No, Joe never said anything.
Then how did he find out?
He didn't.
No, he didn't. He didn't find out. Just the fact that Jesse came back.
Right. What they did was Wally remembered. Yeah, because he both got hit. He doesn't know that he was in the timeline. He's figuring that he's supposed to have speed powers too because she got.
You know what? Well, you know what though?
Which again,
you know what? But see, you know what?
Neither one of them earned those. I'm sorry.
Okay, now I see. Now I see what's going to be the problem here. The fact that he does not even know the existence of his existence as Kid Flash at one point.
And he thinks that because Jesse got him, he should have it in him too. And then listening to Magenta say that I could hear this man talking to me, and Wally had mentioned that before, that he'd been having these vivid dreams of this man in this voice, and what's going to happen is, shucky, sorry, it's the best scene that the scene we were waiting for in Walking Dead. And if you don't know, it's the one where Daryl blows up them youngins with the bazooka. Best scene ever. One of the best fucking scenes ever. It's like, Pachagua! But back to, so my thing is, like I said, I'm not a sidekick person. I don't like, can you hear it? Boom! Booyah! Shit is great. They didn't even see that shit coming.
Phil is an asshole just to even.
I'm sorry. Me and Phil agree. That's one of the best goddamn scenes.
That was so awesome. It came out of nowhere.
He come out the side like,
It came out of nowhere, man.
This shit's still smoking.
That was the last thing I thought would happen.
Yeah, I thought Daryl was going to do something else. I did not see the bazooka coming.
For you people that are listening, now you see what my job is. It's like wrangling cats with these two, bro.
So you so stupid, wrangling cats.
Oh my God! All right.
I just, for me, I'm not. Let's have the whole Flash family and just Little Flash and Jesse Quick and Junior Flash and Home Skillet Flash and Tyrone Flash. I like Barry by himself, and I personally think that for me, when a hero has a sidekick, that is another liability for the hero.
You're right.
Because if you have, they know that you have built up something with this person for them to be your sidekick or your partner.
Even if it's Home Skillet Slash, though.
Tony Flash, Home Skillet Flash, Riri Flash, and Heather Flash. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Now, I don't think the show is trying to build up the whole Flash family dynamic, because that actually deals with multiple universes.
But she didn't deserve to get. Neither one deserved them damn powers. Neither one of them.
Now, the only thing that really makes sense is that clearly that while it's cool to see Jesse Quick here, the only thing that makes sense is for her to be the hero of her own Earth.
Yeah.
Because I like how they killed off Edward Claris pretty quickly. So they can let you know we're not gonna flood y'all with speedsters.
Although, isn't that a good portion of his Rose Gallery?
No, I mean
the more interesting ones. He got some obscure ones that ain't gonna. You be like on TV, like. They're
digging in the crates. They're digging in the crates for the good ones.
And it's not that I know that she's gonna go back to her own Earth. I'm just not that person. Please stop giving me the sidekick story. Barry got enough shit to tell me. I don't need to. And again, for me personally, again, I'm one of those people. You didn't earn those powers. You happened to be standing there when Barry was trying to get his stuff back. You just happened to be there. Yeah. You're not. I mean, yeah, she's smart. That's great. And you're Harrison Wells' daughter. That's wonderful. Wally was nothing but a little jackass from get-go, and you're an engineer. Okay. Also, we're standing. That's just my thing. That's me. I'm not like I ain't be the Batgirl. I ain't in the Batwoman, Robin, all that. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the same mind. I don't think Flash needs a sidekick at this point. If they're going to put Jesse Quick in this mix, let it be fairly temporary. Let it be fun, but don't. I really don't want to see her linger around until episode 10, 11.
Well, she's got. She's gonna fuck up something in this next episode to teach. The teachable moments. I'm really fast. I can do this. The same one that Wally had in the other timeline. The teachable moment. His Anakin Skywalker come to Jesus moment.
There was one funny thing when Caitlin tried to talk to her about not getting on the speed, and she was like, "Oh, wow, because I'm a girl." I was like, "Oh, wow, y'all just." Y'all just threw it out there. Y'all just threw it out there like in the that one out here. Just like all the dudes watching, like. I didn't say that.
I was thinking to myself,
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Where did that come from?
Did you say that? Did I say that?
That's a teenage girl's response to, because I'm a girl. No, honey, because you have no clue what you're doing. You're new at this. You came out the time portal giggling and running around. Right. You didn't take it like Barry did. You didn't come in and stop and say, hey. What's up, yo? You running around like, this is the greatest thing ever. That's why your father is, because you're too goofy to handle it.
Yeah, right. That's the way I thought of it.
Harrison Wells was on Dad times 1,000.
Can he please stop saying not?
Oh, yeah.
I can't. I know you changed the timeline for him, but I can't.
No. Stupid.
No. You gotta stop that.
You gotta stop.
Because it was so stupid.
You gotta stop the not thing.
If that's his new catchphrase,
I like his dad freak. I like his little freak out as a dad. His dad freak outs are cool to see, but the not thing has to stop. has to stop right now.
Yeah, the knot thing has to stop.
Right now.
And who's the Caitlyn saying?
If there's anything Barry can go in time.
Cisco said that. He's like, you guys are still saying that?
Is that the thing?
Am I the only one?
If he can go back in time, he can change that.
Right, exactly. We can fix that. Don't say that anymore. Not.
Stupid. I'm hoping that they give Cisco some more shine though, because I haven't gotten enough Cisco at this point. I know we only how many episodes in?
Well, no, I mean Cisco did. I mean, I think we got an idea of where Cisco was at. I mean,
you didn't really see or hear too much from him in this episode.
But consider the last episode. The last episode, he's just come to terms with. Well, he and Barry had that hard conversation, and so maybe in this episode, he's kind of still probably dealing with that. You know what I mean? I mean, but I think he's gonna have a bigger role, of course, this season. But I think this particular episode, you're right. No, he didn't. He wasn't all about it. But I don't think at the same time, I think they actually kind of let you know that. In that last episode, that he had a lot to wrestle with, and apparently in this timeline, he's in pain. Yeah, and
I was hard on Cisco last week because I like my funny, I can cope with things, Cisco. Because even when he saw the doppelganger of his brother, he handled that shit pretty damn well compared to because most people were like, "Yo,"
but when he saw Barry go back in time twice. He flipped out, and I guess
I would have flipped out. I'm gonna say I would have flipped out too.
Like, bro, you do that, but
I'd be pissed too. But then, but if you explain it, I mean, I'm gonna be in my feelings. But if you tell this is going to make it worse, I can bring your brother back, but you might not have me or Caitlyn or any of this, but you'll have your brother. And I mean, I think
you may not even exist for that matter.
Exactly. We don't know what's gonna happen, and it's just one of those things. I mean, I want Cisco naming folks back because I don't like this dismissive whatever you call them, what you want, Cisco. No. Cisco gives me meta names. I want meta names and quickie and quirps from my boy. I can't.
Nah, I understand.
And I think it'll be good because I have a feeling that something's gonna happen with Caitlyn that's gonna make a huge difference to Cisco.
She's got to.
She's gonna, and you know what I think is gonna happen with her? Hers is gonna be emotionally her Killer Frost thing coming out to the team is going to be based on something emotional happening to her. Something's going to happen to her, and she's going to react in some way, and it's going to come out, and they'll be like, yo.
Yeah, right.
What's up with that?
I can see that shit.
But I don't think she's going to be bad. I don't think I don't think this timeline for Killer Frost. They can call it Killer Frost if you want to, but I don't think she's going to be bad because that's not this Caitlyn's nature.
I was kind of surprised that they even brought that whole premise back. I thought we were satisfied and had enough of her.
Because I loved Killer Frost because I liked dark quippy Caitlyn. Like, your mom sucks too, huh?
Stupid.
And I think her mother is making an appearance this season. Right? They cast someone to play her mother. That's where I think the whole thing for her Killer Frost. I'm gonna put this on tape now. Her mother's gonna upset her, and she's gonna accidentally harm her mother.
Freeze her mom, eh?
No, she possibly not like killer, but like she'll come at Caitlyn or say something to her, and she's gonna react, and she's gonna shoot something. Right, exactly. It's gonna be like her hand, or she's gonna shoot something at her, and an icicle, and she's gonna be like, "Holy fuck!" And
icicle to the skull.
Scram! or like some fucked up, like coming like right near her head.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Caitlyn will freak out, and it'll come to her going to Star Labs and saying, "This is what is happening to me." And I think that it'll be one of those things where her Killer Frost will be like kind of like. Not like Vibes abilities, but she'll be able to have more control of them than she does on Earth 2. She won't be fully... Okay. I mean, if she'll kind of... I hate to say it, I don't want to use it because it's so terrible, but like Enchantress did with the cool turning, I don't know if that's part of what Killer Frost can do.
That transitional part.
Where she can say, okay, I need to turn it on, and I can transition into that person and bring it back. I think they might tweak it a little because she can't go full... Evil Frost. I can't have it.
And stay like that.
Exactly. She needs to be because we need her part of the team. Okay.
There might be a happy medium there. I mean, she may not, but she may not be a part of the team.
You don't think?
I don't know. I mean, the whole alchemy thing is still very unclear. His objective, who else is involved? Is he really on his own? Is he tied to other groups?
My only thing with alchemy and Caitlyn maybe is because Caitlyn is not as weak-minded as the other people seem to be. Like Magenta was in a place where she was very vulnerable. Claris was in a place of vulnerability. I think he plays on those who are easily picked.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Caitlyn seems like she's very strong. She's a smart chick. If she started hearing voices, she gonna tell the team like, "Yo, excuse me." Yeah, the little girl said somebody was talking in there. And he's talking to me. We need to fix that. And I think that she would be that kind of person who would be like, "Yo, we need to fix that because that's not gonna happen."
Yeah, right.
But I have a feeling somebody's gonna upset her and it's gonna come out and it's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to Arrow season 5, episode 3, A Matter of Trust.
Oh yeah, here we go. Man, the new, the evolution of this series this season has been great. They're introducing a lot of new things and ideas and trying to build a new team dynamic with these guys. It's starting to feel a little slow here and there, but there were some good nods to the future. There were some things that I noticed that were a little odd to me. Like Rory, I thought he had to keep those rags on to stay alive.
But then we didn't we say last week that we think that it adapts to
he can change his rags to look like regular clothes.
I think that's what we were thinking because we weren't sure.
This season, this episode was obviously about again they're continuing with the mode of keeping things on the street level with a little sprinkling of superhero madness in there. Tobias Church is obviously kicking up dust in the underworld, and there are other groups that are reacting by getting more powerful product to take over the streets and things like that. And of course, we dealt with a situation where they're coming across a new drug in the streets called Stardust.
Can I say one thing real quick, man?
What's up?
I like the fact that, I was about to say Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How when he latches onto something, he makes sure that he brings it into his universe. He's a big WWE fan, and that's the reason why the name Stardust is there. The dude that was the zombie, he's an actual wrestler. Like that whole premise, like that.
He did SummerSlam. They did and this is like a continuation of their SummerSlam fight because Steven, he's got some skills. So I'm kind of like, I'm gonna go back and watch some of these seasons, see if you did some of your own stunts because he did a lot of. I'm like, you done lost your mind, dog.
Yeah.
And CW is probably going, please don't. Oh Lord, he done jumped off the top rope. Oh Jesus Christ. Is he covered?
One thing about, the hard ways the group is bonding has been interesting so far. I think I guess it's hard to be a little bit patient to see how each member is going to find their place and how they're going to work together, really work together as a unit. I guess they kind of, that's the really big reveal for this season.
Yeah,
is seeing this team come together fully, and hopefully with another element who is introducing one of the wildest storylines of the season, which is Diggle.
Diggle. Wait,
Diggle's
hold up,
situation
yo. Hold
is,
up. Wait, that
like, brother, I'm here for you.
The whole power to the people, yo. Power to the people,
brother. You're going through it.
But that whole,
even your baby moms can't help you.
That whole scene in the jail.
Man,
I'm sitting like this.
That messed me up.
When Deadshot come back.
Yes.
That messed me up. Man.
Did that give? Hold up. When you saw Deadshot come back, what was your first thought? Did you think?
I got a little hype.
Did you think DC? I said DC trying to fix shit.
I got a little hype.
I thought. Wait a minute. Did Berlanti?
I was like this.
Did somebody make a phone call?
Right.
Did somebody make a phone call?
They were like, "Can you come over here?"
But you know what though? As soon as homie did not make zero reference to anybody else that he worked with, my guy was like, but made zero reference, zero. I was excited to see him there, but then it was a little weird to me as well. I was like, because even watching the first time, I was like, oh, he was in there? Mm-hmm. And then to realize what was really going on.
Yo. I can't even. Son.
Where is this going?
Son.
I thought I had an idea where it was going, but
I guess, yeah.
I think it's gonna be a while before we get there.
Well, like he's saying, when your baby mama come and you like just
go.
walk away, baby, just walk away.
Go.
And she like, you know where I am. Right. Wait, excuse me. Look at my face again. My name is Lila.
Yeah, right.
I'm not that chick. And her walking into Ollie, it was like, yo, I need you. And he
was like, what?
Well, first of all, Lila, you rolled up in the Arrow Cave. You up in the Arrow Cave. And I know you know where it is. You've been here a couple of times, but Lila doesn't just do that. Because Lila can handle shit on her own.
Yeah, right.
She's like, no, this is bigger than me. I need you to get him out. Because I need to see what the fuck is wrong with my husband.
And one thing that I think is, I think I was kind of hoping, or maybe I thought that maybe what he was going through had some ties to things going on back home there in Star City, but I think I'm wrong in that regard. I think what he's going through is just setting him up for what he really needs to do. Mm-hmm. But he's in a pretty bad space.
And I feel for him because it's like Diggle's a decent dude. He's always getting screwed.
And it's not like he put himself there.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Other people put him there, so he's well within his right to be enraged.
And he went in to go and do his job, and y'all set him up.
But you see how they, you know what?
They may make a tie.
I think it made for some good writing because the previous season, as bad as that previous season was, we remember the episode when, and I think it was in Legends, where they ran up into the future, saw Oliver with one arm, and met Diggle's son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Connor.
And then you flow back to this episode, and you're like, because I was wondering, I was like, why did they get rid of the daughter? Like, that didn't make any sense initially, and I was like, oh, that makes sense.
There's your future there.
Yeah. So I liked it. I like how they how they're pulling things together anyway. So
I'll admit too that I was a little on the fence about Wild Dog, but finding out that it was my man behind the mask there, a very acclaimed and very talented actor, that surprised everybody when the mask came off. Like, you? Oh. And his performance has been pretty kick-ass this season. And I have to admit, when he puts the mask on, gets in action, it's kind of tight to watch.
Rick Gonzalez,
it's kind of tight to watch.
He's a good actor,
I think he's doing his own stunts, yo.
When you see him in Coach Carter, he was good. I don't know if you guys used to watch. Reaper was actually bananas. I loved Reaper. Yeah, and he played it was on CW back in the day. I think it lasted like 2 seasons.
Really?
Yeah, it was a really good... it was a good show. Yeah. I think a lot of people complained when they took it off the air because it was a really good show.
But he's Oliver. That's who he is. He's Ollie. He is Oliver. I'm gonna do it my way. This is how we're supposed to do it. And if you don't trust me, I don't trust you. Fuck you. Fuck you. And it's like you and him had the same skill set, dude. Yeah. All you need to do is take him and say, look,
now
I was where you are. You want to be this? Listen.
Yeah, listen.
And I know you got the potential because. Artemis, she gonna be badass. Once you hand her bow and arrow, she's going to be ridiculous because she's going to be Artemis.
Well, I thought she was going to be the new Black Canary.
She's going to be Artemis.
So what happened to that whole Black Canary thing?
She's going to be Artemis.
But remember,
the rumor came out she's going to be Artemis. They're not making her Black Canary. They're making her Artemis.
So does that mean they're going to kill off Speedy? Please tell me they're going to kill off
I don't think so. No, I don't. I think she's still going to be there. And they're going to make her Artemis. That's what they said. She's going to be Artemis. That's going to be her evolution. She's going to be Artemis.
I don't think Thea's going to suit up ever again.
I don't think.
So why even have her on a damn show?
Here's my thing with Thea. Yeah, if you're not in the suit, I'm not really interested because you're not doing anything.
Especially she fucking shit up.
Because you're whining. That's all you're doing is whining. And I'm kind of, yes, you saved your sister, whoop whoop,
okay,
she can be back.
Now we gotta sit down and focus on the brother on the show doing this thing. And there were a lot of nods to Mr. Terrific in this episode.
Were there?
I liked
the jacket.
The jacket he had on he did the full mask and the braids. Everybody's talking shit. I'm like, I was perfectly happy. I was waiting for that outfit. I like him. I like Curtis a lot.
I do like Curtis too. Now the thing is, my only thing is about Curtis. Like, I actually am, I know they're going to put variations and twists to these characters from medium to medium. Mm-hmm. They can't be exact replicas of what they do in the comics. Mm-hmm. With Curtis Holt here, I did like seeing him in the jacket. Mm-hmm. I did like the mask. I was wondering why the T-spheres that we saw a whole season ago.
Was it? Wasn't it? Was that season 4?
Yeah, we saw them.
Yeah, I know because he was making them.
Where are they? And 2, the Curtis Holt that we know in the comics, and even animated, is a pretty serious, no nonsense.
And that's my whole problem.
Now hold on. Now remember. Remember. We're trying to deal with real world situations. In a real world situation, we don't come out the womb, bing, the way we are. We come from somewhere. That's my main argument with a lot of the more grounded series that we're getting and the ones that we're getting people as they evolve and grow. Right. They come from one stage and go to another. I had the same thing. I'm like, when are we going to see the Mr. Terrific that doesn't crack jokes and is not nervous about anything, has confidence through the roof, all that stuff. But then again, I'm like, well, he has to get there because the Terrific we know, the Terrific we know is a grown man,
right,
with gray in his hair.
We've seen
with children. He even has children.
The Terrific we met has already evolved. We're getting Curtis. And which I think I like the fact that he's nervous because I want to see that change into the confidence.
I do wonder what they're going to do.
That happen.
I do wonder what Arrow is going to put him through to turn him into the Curtis Holt that we know.
Into
the one.
I think it's going to be something tragic. I think it's going to have something to do with his husband.
Yeah,
and I hate to say that, but I have a feeling it's going to be something to do with his husband. Change and somebody's going to find out that he is Mr. Terrific and he's associated with the Arrow and who he is and where he works. And it's going to be one of them things where it's going to be a Felicity, his husband type of thing where both of them or one of them is going to get seriously hurt.
He seems very lackadaisical when it comes to protecting, like keeping their secret and doing that whole thing. So I
like his dynamic with Felicity because I think because he's like a little brother. He's looking at her like, so you gonna tell him? Or should I?
I was laughing my ass off when she's like, don't say that type of stuff when this dude is in earshot. You don't know when he's going to show up.
You looking at him like, what? I didn't do it. And I think that's a wonderful. I think that's a good dynamic for Felicity because I like watching her be funny because she's geeky funny. She's hilarious because she cracks herself up with some of her jokes. She's like, really? That I've been waiting 5 years to say that because she said it. What was it she said last week? She said something. She's like, I've been waiting 5 years to say that. I was like, but I like her and the dynamic with her and Curtis. How about the whole Ragman thing where she said it, and I said it last week. I said she gonna figure it out and she's gonna confess because that's who Felicity is.
No, you were spot on about that.
And she's not because that's why once again I support all the little girlfriends and all that other stuff. People give Felicity crap, and I'm like, at least she's honest. No, if she does something, she says, okay, I did it.
But that still doesn't take away from her being annoying though. Because sometimes
she's not annoying.
Sometimes I just be like, her. Okay, Felicity, we get it. You smart. You an
she's smart as shit.
Come on.
And it's nice to be able to give a woman credit for being smart and being gorgeous. Because she's not sitting there with gum in her hair and she doesn't have on oversized clothes and she's not in the basement. Felicity is hot. She's hot and sexy. She's beautiful. Her body is banging. And I can say that as a girl, her body is banging.
She's all right.
Okay, and she's smart as hell, and she can hold her own. And my thing is, for 3 seasons, from what I've heard, she spent a good portion pining after Oliver and crying. She finally is kind of like, yeah, you're there. That's nice. I love you. No, I love you.
Speaking of,
I'm gonna
how
do
did you feel about the little boo boo that came out and he was talking? He I guess led them in the right direction.
He's a setup.
Dude, go get the fuck out.
He's a setup. He's a setup. I believe he's planning in Felicity's life to get close to her, and Oliver's gonna end up killing him. Ollie's gonna end up killing him. And I didn't say Green Arrow. I said Oliver, because I think he's gonna do something that's gonna get Felicity in some shit. And this dude is not there because he cares about Felicity. I think he already knows who he is.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I think he already knows who Oliver and the Green Arrow is. Phil is gripped. Oh, he's watching my favorite part. My second favorite part. When Jesse and her family die. That's the best damn thing. Eat them. Eat them.
Wrangling cats again.
Eat them.
Wrangling cats.
Think about that. That was the best goddamn scene because Jesse was undeserving of Rick's love. Undeserving.
One of them zombies went straight for his forehead. Like,
They showed they showed how they did it because he's a little kid. They put the blood packs inside of the guys' mouths. So when they pressed down on top of his head, they popped. So he didn't have, like most people have, blood bags under a prosthetic. Yeah. He's a little kid. They didn't want it to be any more traumatizing than it needed to be because in order for that to pop, they have to actually bite down on it. But if it's in your mouth, you can pop it and just let the blood come out. But they said it was mainly because he was a little kid, which made sense, and it looks really cool. And I'm sorry, Rick, I'm going to say this. I said it when we were reviewing it. I don't understand how Rick is attached to her in any way, shape, or form. She's new. Honey, you are new. You're fresh. You're new, right. And you didn't get none.
All right.
You didn't get none. So
back on what you said.
Yeah, that's it for
Felicity confessing to Homeboy. I just want to see how that's going to turn out.
Yeah,
but she's at least she fessed up. She didn't play this, I don't know what you're talking about game, or waiting until it got to the point where he figured it out on his own. She said it and she did it, and I'm proud of Felicity for that. So, what do we move on to? Luke Cage?
You know what? Let's take a brief break.
Okay.
And we will be back with you shortly.
All right. Peace, youngins.